Okay, let me see if I can get through this second video uninterrupted. Um, Chris and I want to talk here for a second. Again, I'm the mouthpiece, so I probably will stop repeating Chris and I, but we wanted to set off right on from the beginning as to why we can teach this, why we think now we can teach this. And part of that is the aspect that everyone is original. Everybody is original. Okay, that's the whole point of this workshop, is to be original. Well, original means one of a kind. Well, you're one of a kind. I'm one of a kind. Chris is a different writer than I am. We are very different all the way through. The goal of this workshop, the flat goal of this workshop, and stated, and I will repeat this a number of times, is to clear away the rules and get you to your own originality. Going to help you get to your own place that is original. That's what Chris and I figured we could teach more than anything else. We can teach you to recognize originality. That's one of the things we're going to do here. We can teach you to clear away rules that block originality. That's another thing we can teach. And we can teach you to recognize when you are there in feeling and emotion and other things, when you are in an original state. And when you're writing in an original way. We can teach that. There's no doubt. Now, we're not going to get down into the nuts and bolts of, well, this is an original idea and this isn't. No, no, because that has nothing to do with writing. What's original, I mean, Shakespeare did all the plots and did them well, and that's the end of that. If you think you've got to come up with something brand new and original in a plot, boy, you're deluding yourself. I mean, because plots have all been done already, all been done. What makes them original is you, folks, your take on it, your twist on it, your way of looking at the world, your way of approaching the plot. So that's what we're going to try to do in this workshop, is to get everyone to their own originality. We're going to do our best, which is why I was talking in the first one about how some of this is going to be uncomfortable. We're going to do our best to clear this out. All right, why we did this? Well, this came about, we've been kind of talking about this for a while, but it really, really, really came about from an anthology workshop that we had here at the Coast, that basically put together 6 issues of Fiction River, with, of course, there'll be invited authors on top of that. But the writers who were at this anthology workshop were all professional writers. There were 45 of them, I think, something like that, between 45 and 50 professional writers who had, ahead of time, had the opportunity to write a story for a themed anthology. And there were 6 different professional editors. I edited one, Chris edited one, John Helfers, Kevin J. Anderson edited one, Rebecca Masta edited one, Carrie M. Hughes edited one. We were all 6 up front. Well, one of the things that Chris and I got unbelievable, and I edited one called Risk Takers. Now, everybody in that room ahead of time knew that I've been a professional gambler and made my living off of it. Now I'm a semi-professional because I don't make my living on it. I just play for fun. I've been a professional poker player. Okay, I made my living. I played tour events. I've been in the World Series of Poker. I've done all kinds of stuff. Everybody sitting in that room, every professional in there sitting in that room knew that I knew gambling and that I used to be a golf professional. Okay, everybody there was no doubt. I told them up front. Everybody knew. Everybody was on the same footing. And I'm editing an anthology called Risk Takers. So what did a whole bunch of people do? Well, who knew nothing about playing poker, tried to sell me, a professional poker player, a poker story. Excuse me? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Why would anybody even think of doing that? Good God, the thing they should have been avoided at all costs was poker, unless they were a professional poker player, and there was not a professional poker player in that room besides me. So therefore, no, you don't go. It's like, it'd be like I was a medical doctor sitting up there, and I'm doing a story on, medical fiction, and everybody goes at me, with a detailed surgery story. No, There's 1,000 other ways to do something original with risk takers. 1,000. And I couldn't even find enough stories out of the people who submitted it, out of the 45 professionals, to get 15 stories. All of them were high quality stories. There was no argument there. But originality? Oh, good. No, same thing. I mean, I would start into a story and I go, oh no, not another one of those. Oh no, not another one of those. You know, I mean, literally, I could start into the story and I knew what the ending was and I knew what the plot was 4 paragraphs into the story. Well written, yeah, because they were all professional writers. But not an ounce of originality. Not an ounce. Oh, it was scary. It was just scary. And Chris had the same problem. And we were having the same problem across all the anthologies, because we read the stories for everybody, for all the editors, you know, as well. And holy moly, one story right after another. You know, it just, you know, all the same, all the same, all the same. Everybody going, what we call low-hanging fruit. Pick the easiest fruit off the tree and then write a story, and which is going to be deadly dull. It doesn't work, does not get bought, does not get bought. And so, you know, it's one of those sort of sad state of affairs that here we sat with an entire room of professional, well-published. Some of these people had 20 and 30 and 40 novels, and they couldn't write original stories for anthologies. That's really sad. And that's what finally pushed us into figuring out a way to teach this workshop. So we can teach it. We can teach you to find your own originality. We're not going to make you like me. Oh, you don't want to be like me, and you don't want to be like Chris. We're going to make you like you. Make you an original voice. That's the point of this workshop. All right, back in a moment.